What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Mufasa X Gaming, and today we are jumping into a reaction of a video I seen off of Asmongold, one of his channels, and you know what I mean. We all know that it has been I guess, console war going on, and now, thank God, everybody is being included, where everybody's sharing games and everything else. But then that's also negating a lot of things that's going on in the communities. Where what I mean by that is, one, price of consoles are going up. Makes no sense to me. Now, granted, I used to be a Xbox, Microsoft guy all the way. Like, I had PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PlayStation. I never had a PlayStation 3. But yeah, I used to be for those consoles also, you know what I mean? But then I turned into a Microsoft guy, always been an Xbox guy. Now I'm just like, bro, I couldn't play either, so I couldn't play any PlayStation games because I only had Microsoft. You feel me? And now that I have a PC, I'm not. I know I made a joke earlier about me being a part of the master race or whatever, but you know, it is what it is. But now Steam is basically coming out with their own type of console, which is interesting to me because I'm not new to Steam, but I am new to Steam, if that makes sense. Other than that, we're gonna check this little video out about the Steam console and controller. So let me stop talking. Before I hit the button, you know what we gotta do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And also hit me with the super hype button. Appreciate it. Helps me out with the channel.
Valve dropped 3 absolute bombs today. The Steam Frame standalone VR headset, that's going to have to be a separate video. This one focusing on the new Steam Machine, and yes, the wait is finally over, the 2026 edition Steam controller. Let's start with a little history. Over 10 years ago, Valve announced their first version of SteamOS, a Linux-based operating system that would free gamers from the shackles of Microsoft Windows. No, it was a total commercial flop. But instead of giving up on Steam machines, Valve doubled down, working with game developers on Linux-native ports of their games and with open-source developers on the Proton compatibility layer that makes their Steam Deck handheld out-of-the-box compatible with thousands of Steam games, even ones that only ever shipped on Windows. The Steam Deck is believed to have sold millions of units at this point, and no wonder, given its great balance of solid gaming and outstanding affordability. But its mobile form factor has given it certain limitations and left gamers hungry for something more substantial. And well, here it is. I'm calling it the Lunchbox. 1, because it's substantial, like lunch. 2, because it's cube-shaped, like a box. And 3, because I think this thing is going to eat Xbox's lunch. Okay, that last one was a bit of a reach. But not as far as I'm reaching for this segue to our sponsor.
Hold up, RoveLab is having a sale, 60% off.
Really lucky, you may be selected to win a brand new ROG Xbox.
Valve fashion, they've been atypically open about the new Steam machine, giving us direct access to the engineering folks who worked on these devices. The only thing I didn't have today was time, so we're gonna get through this as fast as we can. At the heart of the Steam machine is a 6-core AMD Zen 4-based CPU that turbos up to 4.8 gigahertz with 16 gigs of RAM and an 8 gig GPU that they compared to a 7600 XT-ish. But they were also quick to point out that it might not be apples to apples.
So I wonder if you could change some of the insides. Yeah, the 8 gig GPU is cool, but what if you could do 16? You know what I mean? And if you could add more DDR chips, even though I know that they're allegedly, I guess, running thin for some of them.
Thanks to their custom software stack and power tuning. Basically, the goal was that pretty much anything on Steam should run at 4K 60 FPS if you're willing to turn down the details and use a little bit of FSR upscaling.
That's a fact.
And we saw that on display with Cyberpunk running in the demo room at these settings. Valve says to expect about 6 times the performance of the Steam Deck. Now, I was a little surprised to not see an SoC with shared memory, but apparently the decision to go for discrete CPU and GPU came down to balancing cost, power, size, and performance, and also they just didn't feel like they needed to. And I guess Valve was right, because they nailed this thing. Compared to a more traditional ITX small form factor machine like the OG Steam Machine reference design, you can see that it's a lot smaller. More on par with a highly integrated design like something like the Framework Desktop. Investment disclosure. Like the Framework Desktop, Valve allows customization of the front panel using these magnetic plates, and they're going to provide the CAD files so you can put whatever your heart desires on here. They even had a machine in the demo room with an e-ink display that was showing system vitals. Pretty darn cool. But unlike the Framework, it has a programmable RGB strip in the front that could be used to personalize your style, or maybe show a progress bar while you switch your TV input and wait for your game to be downloaded. The sky's kind of the limit. The front of the device has a power button, micro SD slot, two USB 3 5 gigabit per second ports. Then the rest of the I/O is in the back, where you'll find two USB 2 Type A ports, a USB-C 10 gigabit per second port, no display port on there, that is worth noting, gigabit Ethernet, power in for the integrated power supply. Good gravy, this thing is compact, as well as an HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.4 port. It is worth noting that HDMI 2.0 port, they have tested it at HDMI 2.1 speeds, but there are a couple of features that are not implemented, so they can't call it HDMI 2.1. Also at the back, we have a large 120mm cooling fan that draws air from both the intake on the bottom that comes up through the power supply, as well as the large heatsink on the front. We're going to crack this thing fully open in a sec, but first I want to talk about the Steam controller. No, not that Steam controller, the new one, with the exact same name. Before you ask, yes, I made my case to Valve that this is unnecessarily confusing. No, they're not going to change it. The good news is Valve learned a lot from the first Steam controller, and this appears to be their most complete offering ever. To be fair, the original was really cool. I mean, it made non-controller games finally playable from the couch, thanks to their innovative haptic touchpad. They also unlocked novel input schemes with gesture control, or like swiping with momentum. But they also turned off a lot of folks due to their
weird look.
Deficiency of traditional joysticks. Well, that's solved now. The Steam controller is everything that is great about the controller on the Steam Deck, but
to me, that's just a little weird, just because like it would take some time to get used to. At least for me, I got like small. Well, they're not small, but I got like weird, short, big T-Rex fingers.
usable when your Steam Deck is in docked mode, or with your Steam machine, or with any other PC. Investment disclosure. On the surface, it offers up a conventional ABXY button layout with a PlayStation-style symmetric joystick design that will work seamlessly out of the box with basically any game. The trackpads have been repositioned to better accommodate the arm's natural position while holding a smaller device compared to the wider Steam Deck, and all of the usual Valve buttons are included. A Steam button for opening the menu, their quick access button for bringing up the SteamOS overlay, 4 rear programmable buttons, the face buttons are satisfying with a nice amount of resistance, and the D-pad has been tuned from the Steam Deck for better feel. It feels okay to me, but I only got a couple minutes with it before Valve blew my mind. The joysticks are next-generation TMR, or tunneling magnetoresistant joysticks, boasting superior accuracy and durability, even compared to Hall effect joysticks.
How much is the controller?
And the controller has been designed from the ground up for a superior gyroscopic aiming or mousing experience with capacitive thumbsticks and even capacitive grips, so you can configure your gyro to enable or disable depending on whether you put your thumb on the stick or even by simply loosening your grip, say to recenter and then reactivate gyroscopic aiming. They had a great demo with Balatro showing how you can use the game's built-in controller compatibility, like a pleb, or, hear me out, trackpads with the right for movement and the left one split down the middle for left and right click. Or, hear me out again, gyro mouse using the face buttons for clicks. And if you don't care about gyro aiming, these capacitive inputs are all remappable as well, opening up a whole world of possibilities. Let's go even deeper. In addition to the haptic, texture-like feedback that you know and love from Valve's previous touchpads, the Steam controller has been upgraded with large rumble motors for better immersion and a large battery that they claim should be good for 35 hours in the most demanding applications, and even better if you don't need quite as much rumble. But I haven't even talked about the best part. If you've ever gamed over Bluetooth, you know that it can be inconsistent at best.
Very true.
Valve's solution? The puck. Every Steam controller comes with a wireless dongle that clips magnetically to the Steam controller using a couple of nice, strong alignment magnets. And it uses a proprietary 2.4 gigahertz wireless interface that Valve claims is good for about 8 milliseconds end-to-end latency and offers up superior resiliency when you're using multiple controllers. It allows 4 controllers per puck, so that's not as good as the Xbox dongle, which can do 8, but Valve has tested up to 4 pucks on a single system for a maximum of 16 players, meaning that you're probably going to run out of seats on your couch before you run out of controller compatibility. The last chef kiss on top is an IR emitter that's cozied up beside the power LED to help you find your controller when you're in VR. I love it. Now let's get back to the Steam Machine, who got naked while we were busy. Oh, you. While Valve's goal was to build something that is zero hassle, grab in game for the non-tinkerers, they really were laser focused on a console-like experience with quick suspend and resume and modern standby so that your games are already updated when you sit down to play. They also fully acknowledge that there are folks out there, guilty, who are tinkerers, and they've come up with an ingenious design for this thing that allows it to cater to both audiences. In advance, no, you're not going to be swapping out the BGA soldered processors.
Okay, so
but
you can't.
What you can do is upgrade the storage with next to no hassle to a 2230 or larger 2280 sized M.2 drive. And while we couldn't go that deep today, Valve also confirmed that the memory uses standard SODIMM slots. Finally, while Valve hasn't actually told iFixit that this product is coming yet, they did say that they're hoping to continue their partnership that they've had on the Steam Deck, making replacement parts available for end users. Awesome. Since we're in here, by the way, there are some really cool details that I'd love to highlight. The power supply, for one thing, is fully integrated to the point where it's actually part of the chassis, and the cooling solution pulls air directly through it, which avoids any need for it to have its own fan. The aforementioned Delta cooling fan is actually slightly thicker than the standard 25mm for extra static pressure, and it includes antenna mounts that are integrated into it, along with I/O mounts. Cool, right? Oh, this is actually a great look at the 4 antennas. So this is the back of the device where you have your 2 antennas for Wi-Fi 6E. Then if we flip it around to the front, we've got 1 antenna for Bluetooth peripherals and another one that is dedicated to your Steam controller or controllers. So that puck that's included with your controller is actually extra, and you could chuck it on another PC or next to your couch for charging. A major question mark, though, is of course price. Valve wasn't able to give any specific numbers due to rapidly evolving market conditions, but they will obviously have it nailed down when the Steam Machine launches in Q1 2026.
Now, if it's as expensive as the new PS6 or whatever it's going to be called, and I think Xbox is making a new console. For what reason? I have no fucking clue. My bad. I didn't mean to cuss. But yeah, if it's going to be as expensive as those, I don't know if that's a good selling point. But let's find out.
Alongside the new Steam controller, they did give me one hint though. They said that while they expect it to be very competitively priced with a PC, that it will be priced like a PC, rather than like a console with games subsidizing the upfront hardware purchase. They wouldn't say why, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's partially to avoid stepping on the margin opportunities of their potential partners for Steam games and Steam software, but also because they recognize that the Steam Machine is a full-fledged PC capable of being used as a full-fledged PC.
Because at least me, when I built my PC, I spent about, I want to say 1,300 or something like that on mines. That's just because I didn't go to tippity top to top, but some of at the moment when I built mines earlier this year, that was when it was a ridiculous time. Other than that, it's I ain't had no problems with my PC. I really do enjoy my PC. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, the process of making it and being guided by my I can't speak, by my brother Germonte, boy, some great moments. But like I said, I can't wait to build another PC, and I might end up building a a portable one. But let's finish.
There's no guarantee then that, say, a corporate purchase of 10,000 of these things would result in a single game sale. So they really do need to protect the sustainability of their hardware business. Another major question mark is, where the heck is standalone SteamOS for custom PC builders? Well, we aren't going to get a formal SteamOS release for BYO hardware configurations anytime soon, but Valve has expanded the list of supported third-party devices, and they have supported installing the Steam Deck recovery image on AMD CPU and GPU systems for some time, and recently updated it to support their latest Zen 5 and RDNA 4 architecture processors. So nothing prevents you from building your own Steam machine and installing the software for free, though you will miss out on some things. HDMI CEC control, for instance, required Valve to build a custom motherboard in order to have your computer turn on alongside your AV receiver. And to get that on a BYO PC would require some serious cooperation between hardware makers that I don't know if we should hold our breath for. But the bulk of the experience should work pretty much out of the box. We may even get a release that supports a broader range of hardware in the future. But the vibe I'm picking up on around here is that it really depends on better support for Intel and especially NVIDIA GPUs. I'm also picking up this vibe to our sponsor.
All right. Well, I'll cut it off here. First and foremost, thanks to this guy for breaking a bunch of this stuff down. I'm gonna keep my eyes open to all this new information for the new Steam console, and if I find anything else, I'll keep you guys updated. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, man. Mufasa out. Peace, love y'all. HPP, baby. Hey, I probably will. I'll be doing a lot more reactions and stuff like that. Holidays is almost done with. If y'all seeing this, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Other than that, I will see you on the next one, man. Peace.